All right. What's up, everybody? It has been a while since we have done one of these. Just want to make sure that this gets up and running, I guess, the right way. And then we'll be good to go. So bear with me for a sec while all this gets ready. And then we'll be good to dive on into this. For a sec while all the... You know, now that I'm posting this in the Discord and looking at my old live stream title, or thumbnail, it makes me realize that I have to update that, because that has been around for, I think, since the inception of the channel, like 4 or 5 years ago. So maybe what I'll do this week is I'll update the live stream thumbnail, and because that just needs to be revamped in some form or fashion. I've been trying to get better about the thumbnails and changing those up, because for years they just had that blue background, and it's about time. But I want to give people a second to join here before we get too into this. But for those of you who are watching this as a replay, I'm going to be expanding upon the idea of this daily RSI and this daily triple bullish divergence over the last 3 to 4 years on the RSI, and then do some technical analysis to predict where the top of Bitcoin will be next. I believe we had someone in Discord kind of spark this idea into my head. I believe it was Emex in Discord. Gave me this idea because it's hard to give like a measured move from something like the RSI, and he showed me the 3-day and I was looking at the 1-day, and so I want to look at the daily and the 3-day and then kind of look at where Bitcoin has moved into the past to show that where it could potentially move into the future, because there's clear as day bullish divergence over here, and as we'll look into the 3-day, we will also see that it is almost like a channel of sorts. So relative strength index is one of my favorite indicators for sure. And yeah, Bitcoin's daily chart looks so good. On top of this, Bitcoin's breaking above this big resistance line that I've been talking about for like, I don't know, 2 months now. And it looks and really appears to be using this as support. If this daily candle closes with a wick acting as support, I think that it'll be a really telltale sign for Bitcoin that, I mean, it could just be getting started, which I didn't think I would be saying. I really didn't. Come a month ago or a couple weeks ago even, didn't think I'd be saying that. But we'll get that out to everyone. We will give everyone a second to join. If you are new here, it's great to have you. If you're reoccurring, it's also great to have you. As I was saying earlier, we're going to be going over some technical analysis of Bitcoin. Feel free to interact in the chat. I'm going to keep it casual, and again, I'm going to be trying to do some, I guess, some future analysis, some technical analysis, and predict where the next top of Bitcoin is based off of some patterns and information that we have been fed through my own technical analysis and also with some stuff that people have shared in Discord with me. So I was going to go through this honestly just in my own time and kind of just do my own technical analysis, because that's a lot of what I do. I haven't done a live stream in a while, but I figured if I'm going to spend a half an hour, maybe an hour and a half doing all this analysis, I might as well have the live stream camera on. That way people can kind of get inside my head, ask me questions, and see why I'm coming to the conclusions that I am. So let's go ahead and look at this 3-day RSI. So I believe and I want to draw a secondary line here. This bottom line is going to be used for the daily, so it looks kind of funky when it's just sitting here. But we're going to leave that there because that's for the daily. This one's going to be for the 3-day. And on the 3-day, I believe, I'll have to pull this up in Discord, I believe that this is what Emex was talking about. Something along the lines of something like this. almost like a rising channel of sorts in the RSI. Crypto Truth said, I'm really digging altcoins because of how high the Bitcoin dominance is. It reached 50%, and now I think a retracement is due for the dominance. I actually agree with you, man. So for a while on this dip, I wasn't buying altcoins because if the floor did tank, obviously altcoins would get hit like way worse than Bitcoin would, or a lot of them would. And also, Bitcoin was just the performer. But now I think that we're at the level where altcoins could be preparing to catch up to Bitcoin, especially, and really maybe even see the altcoin dominance fall. Exactly what you're talking about. So I just started buying altcoins again for the first time in a while this week. So like early last week, or I guess technically this week, is when I started accumulating altcoins again. So I'm right there with you, man. So if this is the channel that we have for Bitcoin, what we're going to have to do is figure out at what price was each of these tops and bottoms, and then create a measured move in percentage to identify what this would look like. So first, what we'll have to do is see the increase from this point in time to this point in time, then measure what the increase was, and then what the decrease from this point in time to this point in time was, based off of a percentage. And the reason that we do it off of a percentage and not based off of a flat amount of money is because a percentage will give us a more accurate reading of what this is. Because $5,000 when Bitcoin was at $10,000 is a whole lot. It's a lot larger of a move than if Bitcoin's at $50,000 and it goes up $5,000 in value. So we are going to be using percentages to calculate this because that's ultimately just going to give us a more accurate reading. So first point in time to plot is going to be, when is this? Around November 24th, 2018. So November 24th, 2018. Was right around, we're going to have to kind of rough estimate here. It's going to put us right around candle body close of 18,000, and we'll just say 500. And I want to get a notepad. November 24th, we had Bitcoin at 18,000 and 18,500. Next plot point. Evening, Brennan. Shirley, once you're confirmed out of that range and head up to 45K, could this trigger a mini alt run? Yeah, I think it could. I don't see why not, right? I think altcoins are lagging behind, and when altcoins pop, they really pop. They can sit behind for a long time. Like we saw this year, they were for a long time, they were just dead, and Bitcoin would move, and a lot of altcoins won it. But then in the last bull run, when they popped, they took off. Cardano for sure, Ethereum, XRP not nearly as hard as last time just because of everything going on, but there was just a ton of them. Polkadot, Solana, the drill. All right, next plot point that we need is May 13th of 2019. So May 13th of 2019. May 13th. 2019. Oh, that's a big candle. We'll just kind of cut it in half here and say that this was 7,522. Was that May 19th, I think it was? May 13th, 2019. And we had a price point of 7,700. I'm just typing this down on a notepad as well to my right so that I can keep track of all these dates and prices. Next price point will be from May 19th, 2019 down to March 10th of 2020. March 10th, 2020 is 4,700. Next plot point here is going to be January 10th of 2021. So one of the most recent ones. January 10th of 2021. Let's see, where does that put us? Right up here. So we'll say this guy was like 40K. January 10th, 2021. And what, do we have one more point, I think, to plot? Yeah, retracement down to, what is this? June 6th, June 3rd area of 2021. June 6th to June 3rd. June 6th will put us right around 33,500. So 33,500. All right. So these are the plot points that I have for everyone who couldn't see what I was typing. I was plotting the tops and bottoms of this. So those numbers and dates are going to correlate to the tops and bottoms. So the first one was a bottom. Second one was a top. Third one was a bottom. Fourth one was a top. And then the last one was a bottom, so we're looking at the next one obviously being a top. Or hopefully being a top, right? Hopefully we don't want to have another touch point on the bottom. I guess it's possible, but probably unlikely. So, let's go back to the candle chart. And so I think now what we're going to have to do is see what this could do to the price of Bitcoin. What some of these differences are. So bear with me. First plot point is November 24th, 2018. November 24th, 2018. Is that right? Oh, I think I might have done 2017 on my plot points. Yeah, November 24th, 2018. What did this put us at? This would have put us at roughly 3,600. So I got to adjust that. So we're going from 3,600 in 2018 being our first plot point on the RSI. 3,600. And then we're going over to May 13th, 2019. And this should put us right around 7,700. So this was a 112% increase from top to bottom of the RSI touches. So in here, we'll put 112%. Up. So then we're going to go from 7,700 to in 2019 to 4,700 March 10th of 2020. So March 10th of 2020. Right around here. Yep. And then this was a fall of roughly 41%. Drop. So then we're going to go from 4,700 on March 10th of 2020. Yeah, that's good enough. 4,700 to 40,000. This is going to get difficult. To 40,000 January 10th of 2021. So let's get a rough there. Oh wow, spot on. To 40,000 on the dot, January 10th of 2021. So right in here. And then this was a... Is that accurate? Yeah, that is accurate. 750% increase. Up. So then we'll go from 40,000 down to 33.5K, going from January 10th of 2021 to June 6th of 2021. Go right from this January 10th area of 40K down to 33.5 of June 6th. Right here. And this was a decrease of 18%, which is honestly not that big. Kind of expected it to be bigger. So now what we can do is, now that we have this information, and I guess we can make this smaller. Now that we have this information, and what this does is this correlates to, or should have some sort of correlation to, this 3-day RSI. So now I want to put these side by side and look at this and say, all right, from our lowest point, 36K or 3,600 here, we rose 112% to 7,700, where we topped out on the RSI, and we fell 41%. Yeah, where's our measuring tool? Oh, I can't do that, forgot. We fell 41% down to the higher swing low, where we then rose 750%. So roughly 7 times greater than the previous one, which would make sense because we went approximately 7% higher on the RSI. So if we were to go 7% higher on the 3-day RSI again, continuing this channel and history itself, let's just kind of, actually, before I do that, I want to see the difference between here. Bitcoin rose, this one I might have to measure in points, about 9.5 points, which was 55%. And if we rose here, about, yeah, close to that, almost 7 points from bottom to top. So then if we rose here, roughly 7% or 6.5 points, then I would say that it's probably fair that we go a little bit less the next time. So maybe 5.5 points and bring us right into this area. So what would potentially happen is if we pull back up the notepad. So 112% increase from 2018 to 2019, 41% drop, 750% increase, 18% drop, which makes sense that we would have a lower percentage drop on the second. On the drop should, in theory, I guess, get smaller because, or maybe not always smaller, but should stay lighter because we're ending up higher on the RSI, so it has less room to fall, right? It has to go not quite as far into bearish territory down here on the bottom and on the floor of this channel on this RSI. So it makes sense that we wouldn't see something like 80% drop or something like that, or 70% drop. So I think that if we want to take a fair number from where we're at right now, we kind of have to negotiate and say, do we... So we went from 36 to 7,000, 112% increase, and then we went from 47 to that. So I think that we can do a couple of things. I want to try going back to the candle chart, and we're gonna split a couple of odds here. So from that current bottom of June 6th, if we rise, let's just say the bare minimum of 112% from this price, that will put us just above our previous all-time high. That'll put us at nearly $70,000. Now, ideally, if it goes this high on the RSI, I would expect it to do something in the least in between what we had of 112% and 750%. So let's just cut that down the middle and say that it could go, I don't know, 400%. And then we'll get more technical and, I guess, specify this as we continue. So we're going to have to make this a lot smaller, like a lot smaller. And let's just, yeah, this is probably a happy range. This would probably put us around 150, 160,000, which people who know me, I don't like to throw out giant 10x your money, 10x your altcoins. I hate throwing out that idea because I think that it involves so much FOMO. However, I used to think that what we saw this year would something that we would have to wait till, and I could probably word this way better. I used to think that what we saw this year would not happen for a very long time. And I did say that what we saw in 2018 seemed impossible, right? In 2018, this bull run seemed impossible. It came around, we're like, that was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It'll never happen again. And of course, on Bitcoin's market cycles, we walk through how this has happened several times. And every time we go back and look at it, every single time that we go back and we look at this, we say, there is no way that this will happen again, when in fact this has happened before. And then we talked about how we will one day look back at 2018, and this will just be a small blimp on the scale compared to what the next market cycle will do. And of course that happened, right? We've seen that in the past. We can barely see some of these blimps when at their time and at their height, some of these little blimps were monstrous. They were great gains. People thought it was the greatest thing that happened to cryptocurrency, but now they're small blimps on the scale. And now 2018 is looking increasingly more like that. And then we zoom out and sure enough, there's bigger monsters to come. And then who's to say that this can't happen again where the next time around, where's our drawing tool? There's even bigger monsters that makes what we saw in 2021 and 2020 look like a blimp on the scale. So I don't think that it's too crazy if by the next halving, Bitcoin hits, like, at least in my opinion, I was going to come in here and say maybe around 100,000, maybe just below 100,000. Looking at this now and some of the information here, maybe like 150,000. You know, give or take. Granted, this is a very predictive analysis. We're going off as much information as we can, which is very limited right now. But the way that the fundamentals and the adoption of cryptocurrency is heading, this could be a very big deal. And I think that we will start to see the real application and use cases of this come out to second and third world countries. And the first world countries will get on the bandwagon of sorts. They will not integrate this as like a normal part of society, but I think that the second and third world countries will, which will kind of, I guess, encourage the first world countries to jump on board just so that they can kind of stay in touch. I mean, I guess that's saying it in simple terms. So if we want to say that maybe it goes up to 750, right? The last time we saw this, it was 750%. Man, jeez. Around this area, 750% would lead us to 250,000. Now, if we're going to say that it'll be even greater than last time, it could be bigger than that. Honestly, I don't see it going up that much more than that. I think like it would top out at some point before 250K, which it's just a crazy number to throw out there right now. I have a hard time spitting that out. But I would say the next top, in my opinion, for the final predictive analysis of this, would be probably between 150. This is going to be such a stupid big range. 150 and 250,000 by the next halving cycle. So this is obviously, you know, a good bit into the future. We're talking about the next halving cycle. We just had one not too long ago. Through the next halving cycle, and also with all the inflation stuff happening, I think that 250,000 could be a great number to look at. And that's it. Now let's go into some of the micros of Bitcoin a little bit more before I get into anything else here. And then I want to break this down on a daily because there is so much information in here. I've been talking about this, and I'll probably make a video on some of the micros a little bit more tomorrow. I think that the like macro prediction that we were just doing was too much for a video. I don't even think I could make it in a reasonable amount of time or explain it well, let alone answer any questions on it. But on this will probably be included in one of the new videos. So we've talked about this range on Bitcoin. This has been really important. And what this has meant is we have used this as resistance, right? I think I talked about this in my most recent video. Now with us breaking above this and what appears to be previous resistance being used as support right here, of course we can see resistance right here, and then this wick seemingly looks like it wants to continue to the upside. If this happens, this will be such a bullish sign, and I don't see anything stopping Bitcoin from hitting the top of the $40,000 range, right around that $50,000 area, maybe right below it. I just don't. I don't see a lot stopping it if this continues to close and turn green. I mean, who knows? Maybe the next daily candle opens up and it tanks, but the way that this is looking and pathing right now, previous resistance that we have not seen turn as support yet is now turning as support. A descending triangle was completely thrown into the trash can. Like it was wadded up. They said they don't want to do it, and then they threw it into the trash can like a piece of paper. The death cross is also looking like it just is going to go away. EMAs are starting to point back upwards. There are an endless amount of green candles without a sign of pullback. Any pullback that Bitcoin has seen at this area has been bought up so fast since it bounced. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe like almost 2 weeks of just nothing but green, which means that if you would have bought almost at any point in the past 2 weeks, you would be in the green. Like, it's just crazy. And any point that Bitcoin did fall and reject, I mean, look at this wick. I mean, big old wick coming in here. The next candle opened up. It fell roughly Let's see, what did it fall? Fell 10%, and then the very next day proceeded to rip. In the next 2 days, it ripped to a new high right afterwards. So, I mean, anything that is happening to get sold off over here is getting bought back so quickly. I mean, there's just a lot happening on the chart right now. I mean, there's so much to look at. I can't even imagine what's happening. I haven't even bothered to look at the 4-hour. 4-hour MACD, I don't see anything. 4-hour RSI. Yeah, I mean, look at this, right? I mean, just consistent higher swing lows. If this thing isn't squeezing or already squeezed, it was definitely squeezing towards the breakout. And we're already seeing the fall in the retracement to a neutral zone, which couldn't even get Bitcoin a red candle, right? So here's that support level I was talking about. What was previously resistance, we can see it a little bit better on the 4-hour, is now turning into support. We have 4 or 5 4-hour candles here, using it as support with buying pressure now coming in. Doesn't mean that this can't tank and break, but I think what this is doing is we have the golden cross on the 4-hour. This is setting up Bitcoin so that even if it does pull back, I think arguably we'll see a higher swing low, and that this 29K area of Bitcoin looks like it'll most likely hold, and that looks like it was the bottom. Jay Lassie said, "I'm so bullish on QNT." Yeah, that's Quantum, right? Oh, this is not the chart I wanted. That was not the chart I wanted either. Can't get a good USD chart. Yeah, man. Good for you. ETH is looking bullish in the short term. Oops, that was the wrong chart. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, oh gosh. Even since we've been on here, when I got on the live stream, it was at around 2,400. Now it's almost at, I mean, it's above 25. One of the nice things about ETH, and maybe I'll make an Ethereum video here soon, this thing cleared this. This is a beautiful sign. Support held, and not only did this support hold, and we could say that this is like a rounding or a flat bottom of sorts, but this descending triangle is gone. It's out the window. With this hitting a higher high from above its previous resistance point, this to me is so telling that ETH could just rip. Of course, the next resistance level is going to be around 2,900, 2,800, right below this 3,000. If ETH breaks 3,000, I don't see anything stopping it from 4,000. So, yeah, I mean, cryptocurrency all in all, it could easily pull back, right? Come maybe back down to 2K and then bounce, as like most cryptocurrencies could. But Ethereum, I mean, it just looks beautiful right now. I expect Ethereum to continue to just perform beautifully. In the big picture, again, it's going to have its pullbacks, it's going to have its runs, but in the big picture, I see Ethereum continue to perform good until ETH 2.0 comes out. I mean, that's probably 18 months away at least. So it's nice because it gives people like me more time to accumulate. Yeah, I mean, I think even in the long term, right? Not even, I mean, short term, long term. I was saying for a while that I was bearish in the short term. Now I think the short term's bullish, the mid term's bullish, the long term's bullish. Like, ETH looks great. This chart looks awesome. In fact, myself looking at this chart has just made me make the decision to go buy more Ethereum after this live stream ends. So, because I don't nearly have as enough as I want. Yeah, this is such a beautiful chart. I love the way that this looks. And ETH never had a death cross. I think that's one of the other unique things. ETH never had the death cross. This thing has some room to, in the least, bounce and the most hit new all-time highs. What's my favorite project for long term? So I don't have a like dedicated project that I just love to like. I hate to use the word chill, that I like chill, or this one project that I just like to hammer home to. I really do like the idea of diversification. So, I mean, I don't know, right? You know, I don't know. I don't have like one single project that I love. Coins that I love to hold are basic coins. So I think Bitcoin is always going to be around because it's the legacy coin, right? It's the creator of cryptocurrency. I think Ethereum will be around for a very long time because like 80% of cryptocurrencies that we have and blockchain companies and projects and use cases are built on top of the Ethereum blockchain. It just dominates the altcoin industry and also a lot of the real world applications that people are using in the world of cryptocurrency, you know, decentralized applications, video games, whatever it may be. A lot of that is built on top of Ethereum. So I think that if you yank Ethereum out of the space of cryptocurrency, you also yank about 80% of the economy that comes along with cryptocurrency, the business economy, you yank that as well. So I think Ethereum will be around, especially on top of all that, Ethereum 2.0 is coming out. I am probably, so I guess maybe Ethereum is my favorite project. I guess to answer your question, but I think Bitcoin, Ethereum, I like OMG, I like Litecoin, I like Link, 0x. I don't know if I said Amise Go. What else is there? Polkadot. And I don't hate XRP. I mean, I'm not a XRP fanatic, but I like XRP. I think they have a cool working product. Obviously, there was all sorts of stuff happening with the lawsuit, but I think overall they, from a business standpoint, they have a really cool product, and they can help create a transition point from centralization or from centralized currencies to cryptocurrencies, from fiat to crypto. And I like what they're doing there, right? Vet, Theta, buy or sell Bitcoin. So here's the thing. I have a disclaimer in the comment section or in the description. I can't give anyone legal financial advice at all. But, personally, I am buying Bitcoin. I'm buying Bitcoin. I have been buying Bitcoin for years. And I think that's, let's look at this too. I think cryptocurrency is going to play a big part in the future. CryptoCasha's Vet and Theta. I like Vet. I don't know too much about Theta, so I can't really speak on it. But I think VeChain's great. So for everyone that is watching, this is the total market cap excluding Bitcoin, otherwise known as the total altcoin market cap. So if we are, and this looks just like Ethereum, right? The last time that this happened, look at this. This is so similar. We had the rounding, or not even the rounding bottom. We had the flat bottom. We had this, what could have very well been a descending triangle forming with the flat bottom, the falling level of resistance in here. And then it broke the cycle from this flat bottom, ripped up to a new higher high than its previous one. And then after this, just proceeded to rip. So if we're arguing at all that this could very well be the same scenario, we topped out, we saw what was appearing to be a descending triangle right in here with the flat level of, this is such a bad triangle, but you guys get the point, with the flat level of support, and then we're breaking out, and now we have a higher swing high than we previously saw, and we're using the EMAs as support. Who's to say that this won't happen all over again like we just saw the previous example, right? So, crypto looks great. I am so excited to see what the future holds here. And it looks like, can't erase that. It looks like what we saw down here was just a giant bear trap. But I think the more technical analysis I do on this, the increasingly more bullish I get. So unless something crazy happens, most of my videos from here for this foreseeable future until something crazy happens are going to be relatively bullish videos. And I'm going to probably spend a lot of time explaining all the different reasons, ways, shapes, and forms that I am bullish to try to explain all the perspectives. But ultimately, this will take time, right? This isn't going to be a thing where like next week, next month, Bitcoin's at a new all-time high. It's not the way that it works. It does move parabolically, but it's over, spans of time, months to years, and that's okay. That I much prefer something that moves parabolically over the course of months to years than something that does it in days to weeks. I don't like trading like the whole AMD or GameStop stuff. It just moves too fast for me. It's too up and down, just too fast. And cryptocurrency is kind of like that happy medium, where it still moves very fast, but it's not like this pump and dump where it's up 100% and then all gone the next day consistently. There is kind of like a pattern to it. Any questions or something that you want to have me take a look at? More than happy to. So, yeah, I mean, that's just my thoughts on Bitcoin right now. Again, I'll probably break this down into some more videos as this week continues. But the way I look at it now, like I'm just so bullish on cryptocurrency, altcoins included. I was really holding off on altcoins, but looking at that chart, it makes me want to get back into them. I started taking profits on about, I would say probably about like a third of my stocks. I think that's about an accurate number. Probably about a quarter to a third of my stocks, I started taking profit on them all. I sold off, what did I sell off? I sold off AMD, Wells Fargo, and one other one. I put it all in Discord. By the way, if you guys haven't already, hit that like button, and it helps get the video out to more people. And if you're not subscribed, I'm not going to tell you to subscribe, but we do stuff like this, and I'm pretty responsive to anyone in the community. So, welcome. I sold off, what was it? Apple, AMD, and Wells Fargo. I think Apple was 20%, AMD was 20%, and Wells Fargo was 51% profit. And I forget what I'm still holding on to. I'll have to look. I think Intel, I own a little Intel and maybe some other things that I'm up on. But yeah, I think the reason for that is I want to reanalyze kind of where the stock market is. I think that it's in a little bit of a risky spot at the moment. So I kind of want to take a step back from the stock market, do a full analysis of what the stock market looks like, specifically New York Stock Exchange related assets, and then reevaluate from there. Probably end up reallocating some money into either metals or cryptocurrency. But other than that, appreciate everyone coming by. Of course, if you do have any questions or anything, shoot me a message on Discord. There's a link to that in the description down below. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. It was a pleasure doing this live streaming, getting this out to everyone, because we haven't done one of these in quite some time. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got. Hopefully, we'll continue to do these more. They're tough because I kind of have to get them on a regiment for them to get kind of any kind of like viewership. So maybe I'll create a schedule to do them. Just hard with the job that I work and like kind of how my life is right now. But I appreciate everyone coming through. I'm going to go ahead and end this off, and I'll see you all very, very soon.